Hello friends, welcome to another video on my YouTube channel, and in this video you will learn how you can create Openai Assistant using APIs and enable function calling functionality. So recently Openai has launched Assistant API, which has three capabilities. First, code interpreter, so that it can write a Python file, run that Python file, and format the output of that Python file. Second, retrieval, in which you upload some documents and then directly talk to those documents. And the third is function calling, which is we are looking at. And the function calling is a functionality in which when you want to extract information from user's query, you use this functionality. So let's say you want to extract user's name and email address from the conversation. You create Openai Assistant with function calling functionality and then provide some information into that, so that in the conversation Openai will in natural language ask the user to provide his name and also provide email address. Once Openai understands that okay, both the information are filled, it will let you know, and then you can do the further action. So let's look into the same thing. So here I'm inside my Python notebook, and let me first import Openai. I'm reading environment file .env file. I have attached this .env example. So it has two properties: Openai API key. This will be your Openai API key, and don't worry about this assistant. I'm doing some other stuff. So this is related to that. Now I'll load my environment file. I'll import OS to read the environment variables, and I'll create Openai client. So let me create the client, and let me first show you the lists of assistant. Let's say assistants equal to client beta, then assistants list, and I'll print that assistant dot model dump JSON indent 2. All the objects of Openai beta API have this model dump JSON, and when you use to print that, it will print the information. So you can see that I have at this point I guess two. This is for another demo, and this is another assistant. Okay, so I have two assistant. Now let me create one more assistant which will have functionality to call function. For that we need to create tools. Tools is an object which has few things. So this object should have a property called function, which is again an object. So we are just following a format that Openai understands. This function property should have few properties like name, parameters, these parameters, and description. So name is the name of your function. This can be any of your choice. Parameters is again a list, and it has a property called type, which is an object. And properties, these are the properties that you want to extract from user's conversation. So I want to extract location, which is again a list. It is a type of string, and description, the city and state, example this. The unit, again type string. Now you can provide default choices, and Openai will ask user based on question based on the enum or the choices. And the description, and inside parameter we have one more property required. So these two properties, location and unit, are require. And let me clearly format it. Yeah. The description of the function. Second, then there is one more thing. Type of this is a function. Now I have one more replication of the same thing, in which I have added number of days so that we can get forecast for number of coming days as well. And let me very quickly format this as well. Yeah. So this is one more function. You can see the names of the function are different. So let me run this as well. Now we will create assistant using the API, so that we need to call client beta assistant and create. It will take model name, name of the assistant, instruction. So again, you are a helpful assistant. Don't make assumption about the values to plug into the function, and ask for clarification if a user request is ambiguous. We provide the tool we have created and the description. So let me run that, and when I run it, okay, let me print this. So model dump JSON indent 2, and let me print this so you can see it. Yeah. So this is the assistant, and you can see we have tools, which is function. Now, in order to talk to the assistant, you need to create a thread, put user's message on the thread, run the thread, check if the run is complete or not. In our case, the run will stop at required submission of tool output. So we will submit the tool output, and then OpenAI will generate the response, and then we can show that response to the user. I know it is, a bit complex. So what happens is that you create a thread, put a message on the thread, and then OpenAI will, ask follow-up question if it needed. Once the follow-up question are filled, so that means the information that we want to extract are filled, OpenAI will let us know that, okay, the information are filled and here are the information. Now I'm waiting for you to submit the output of this information so I can generate the answer. So once you submit the output of the tool, OpenAI will generate its response. So let me create a thread, and I'll put a message on the thread. For that, I'm using the thread ID, role, user, content, and I don't need this file, I guess. Yeah, the content is what is the weather today in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. So when I run it, I have put the message on the thread. Now I'll run it, and if we retrieve the run, and let me print that, you will see that we have retrieved the run. So this is the run ID, and you can see here now the run is kind of waiting for submit tool output. You can see here that it has extracted Ahmedabad and Gujarat. So we need to get this tool call ID. Now what I'll do is that I'll submit the response to the tools. You can see that I have written this, it is 29 degrees Celsius. So this is, we are feeding to the assistant when I run it. Okay. Now if we retrieve the information of the run, you'll see that the run status is now complete. Okay. Previously it was waiting for submitting the tool output. Now since the run is complete, we can we have retrieved Now let's get the list of messages. So what happens is that on the thread, you put a message, run the thread, OpenAI will put response on the same thread. So we get list of messages. Let me get that very quickly, and we can loop over the thread messages and get the content we want. So you can see this was our question: what is the weather today in Ahmedabad, Gujarat? And the response is, today in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, the weather is currently 29 degrees Celsius. This is what we have feeded. So I'm sure now you are able to understand how to use functions in OpenAI Assistant API. In case you like my work, please consider subscribing to my channel. That helps. Thank you for watching. Peace.